Hello friends, welcome to the most interesting topic of Indian polity, evolution of Indian states and union territories. What is historical background, how they evolved, what is current status. We are going to study every point in a very interesting manner. So welcome you all. Now this is the first slide. At the time of independence, India was categorized into two political units. It was British provinces and second was princely states. Now, the British provinces were under direct rule of British government. They were completely ruled by British government. British government used to control its financial, economic and all other administration directly through its own representatives. So, it was British provinces. Second, there were princely states. Princely states were under the rule of native princely rulers, native princes. But these princely states were also subject to the paramountcy or supremacy of British crown. Means for certain matters, these princely states had independence, they had autonomy, but ultimately they had to report to British crown. So British provinces were under supremacy of British government directly, but princely states for certain matters had autonomy, but ultimately they were subject to the paramountcy or supremacy of the British crown. Indian Independence Act was passed in 1947 by British Parliament. Now, this act created two separate independent dominions. One was dominion of India. Second, it was dominion of Pakistan. Right? They were not sovereign at the time of Indian Independence Act. They were dominion, subject to certain matters were still in the hands of British Crown. Now, the princely states had three options. First option, they can join India. Second option, they can join Pakistan. Or third option, if they want, they can remain independent. They had the option to remain independent and not to join either India or Pakistan. These three options were there given by the Indian Independence Act of 1947. Now, at the time of independence, the total number of princely states was 552. Out of these 552 states, 549 joined India, but 3 states refused to join India or Pakistan. They wanted to remain independent. They were, one was the state of Hyderabad, second it was Junagadh, third it was Kashmir. Right. These 3 states were integrated into the Indian Union by wit, tactic and the diligence of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who is also called as Iron Man of India. Hyderabad was integrated into Indian Union by police action, Junagadh by referendum, Kashmir by instrument of accession. Remember, UPSC or other civil service examinations will ask you question on match the pair. So here you have to remember Hyderabad was integrated by police action, Junagadh was integrated by referendum and Kashmir was integrated by instrument of accession. So these princely states were added to the Indian Union through these 3 measures. So I repeat once again, out of 552 princely states, 549 joined India, 3 refused to join India. So they were integrated into the Indian Union through various means and measures. Then when the Indian Constitution was ready, that is the constitution in 1950s, this constitution gave 4-fold classification of total 29 states of India. Indian Constitution classified these 29 states into 4 parts. It was part A, then part B, then part C and then part D. Part A contained governors' provinces of British India. These states were large in size. Governors' provinces of British India, they were total 9 in number. Then part B contained princely states with legislature. This is important. Part B contained princely states with legislature. They were 9 in number. Now part C contained somewhat smaller provinces, somewhat smaller states. They were called as chief commissioners provinces plus few princely states without legislature. They were total 10 in number and they were centrally administered by British government. And part D contained only one state, it was Andaman and Nicobar Island. It was kept in part D. So in this way, total 29 states were there as per the scheme given by Indian Constitution in 1950s. This was the classification. Now we will try to understand how these states evolved to the present status one by one. Now, for state reorganization, various commissions and committees were formed. Out of those commissions and committees, three important commissions and committees were: one was Dhar Commission, second was JVP Committee, third one is Fazal Ali Commission. These three committees were very important. Fazal Ali Commission is also known as State Reorganization Commission. We will go into these one by one. Now, Dhar Commission, it was appointed in June 1948. It was appointed by Government of India. This is important. It was called as Linguistic Provinces Commission. Remember its name. It is what we can say official name of Dhar Commission. It was Linguistic Provinces Commission and was chaired by S.K. Dhar. It submitted its report in December 1948. Appointed in June 1948, submitted report in December 1948. Now, what it said? It recommended reorganization of states on the basis of administrative convenience. They said states can be reorganized based on administrative convenience. But it rejected linguistic factor for reorganization of state. It said states cannot be reorganized based on languages. So this is very important point of Dhar Commission. It said states can be reorganized based on administrative convenience but not on the basis of linguistic factor. It did not go down with the people. Political agitation started. Various languages group and various interest group, they started agitating throughout the India for reorganizing states based on languages. So to remove this discontent in the public, another committee was appointed in December 1948 itself. It is famous as JVP Committee, or also called as Linguistic Provinces Committee. Remember, Dhar Commission is called as Linguistic Provinces Commission. JVP Committee is called as Linguistic Provinces Committee. It was appointed by Congress. Dhar Commission was appointed by Government of India. JVP Committee was appointed by Congress. It was a committee of 3 members, which included Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and the third most important person was Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. It submitted its report in April 1949. Right, appointed in December 1948, submitted report in April 1949. Now, again, JVP Committee also rejected language as the basis for formation of state. So, Dhar Commission and JVP Committee, both these important committees, forums, rejected language as the basis for reorganization of the state. They said certain other criteria should be taken into consideration, but language should not be the criteria for reorganization of the state, as it could be detrimental to unity, integrity and sovereignty of the nation, and it could affect this beautiful fabric of India. So, Dhar Commission and JVP Committee, both these committees rejected language as the basis for formation of the or reorganization of the states. But as the report went viral, political agitation started all over India, especially in South Indian states. And on October 1953, Potti Sriramulu, one of the freedom fighter of very high stature, of very high standard, he continued his hunger strike for Andhra state, and on 56th day he died. He continued hunger strike for 56 days and his death led to a kind of volcano in South Indian state. Ultimately, government had to form a first linguistic state, which was Andhra state. So remember, Andhra state is the first linguistic state. It is formed by separating Telugu speaking areas from Madras state. Andhra state was formed by separating Telugu speaking areas from the Madras state. Now, it was very eminent to take certain concrete step for reorganization of the state, as the loan for formation of states based on the language was spreading throughout the India, and it was creating a very grim situation, and it was there to have regional conflicts in the region. So a very important commission was appointed by Government of India. It was Fazal Ali Commission, also called as State Reorganization Commission. It was appointed in December 1953. It was 3-member commission having members like Fazal Ali, then H.N. Kunzru, and third member is K.M. Panikkar. I repeat once again the names of the commission. It was Fazal Ali, H.N. Kunzru, and K.M. Panikkar. It submitted its report in September 1955. Now what it said? See, it broadly accepted language as the basis, as one of the basis. Here I forgot to written as one of the basis for reorganization of the state. I repeat once again, Fazal Ali Commission broadly accepted language as one of the basis for reorganization of the state, but I repeat here once again, but it rejected the theory of one language, one state. It means a state can be formed by taking into consideration many languages, but one state for one single language is not acceptable. I repeat once again, one single state for one single language is not acceptable. Language can be a basis for reorganization of the state, but one language, one state was not acceptable to Fazal Ali Commission. Along with language, it identified 4 major factors for reorganization of the states. First was unity, security and integrity of the country. Second, linguistic and cultural homogeneity. Third was financial, economic and administrative considerations, and fourth was welfare of the people. So Fazal Ali Commission said language shall be the basis for reorganization of the state along with 4 major factors. One was unity and integrity, unity, security and integrity of the country. Second, linguistic and cultural homogeneity. Third, financial, economic and administrative considerations, and fourth was welfare of the people. They said that based on these things you can reorganize the state. Along with these recommendations, Fazal Ali Commission recommended abolition of 4-fold classification which was given in the constitution, like part A, then part B, part C and part D should be abolished. It recommended creation of 16 states and 3 centrally administered territories. I repeat once again, Fazal Ali Commission recommended creation of 16 states plus 3 centrally administered territories. Government accepted the recommendations given by Fazal Ali Commission with minor modifications. And based on the recommendations of Fazal Ali Commission, State Reorganization Act 1956 and 7th Amendment Act 1956 was passed. And these 2 legal development formed the basis of current state reorganization that we have in India. What it said? See, on 1st November 1956, 14 states and 6 union territories were created. 14 states plus 6 union territories were created. See here, Fazal Ali Commission recommended 16 states and 3 union territories. Instead, State Reorganization Act and 7th Amendment Act has created 14 states and 6 union territories. Some of the examples are: Kerala was formed from Travancore Cochin state by adding Malabar district from Madras state and Kasaragod district of Dakshin Kannada. Andhra Pradesh was formed through by addition of Andhra state plus Telugu speaking areas of Hyderabad were added to form Andhra Pradesh as a state. Remember, Andhra state was the first linguistic state. Madhya Pradesh was formed by adding Madhya Bharat state, Vindhya Pradesh state and Bhopal state. Like these, many examples are there which you should remember. This is very important topic from prelims point of view, and also you should be aware about these things to understand the political development that we have in India. So keep watching the lectures. Thank you very much. All your suggestions are welcome. Thank you very much. Have a good day.